Welcome, Congressman Costa.
Well, thank you, my friend. It's always a pleasure and honor to be on the most widely listened to Punjabi radio programming in the country, and you do a terrific job and having your conversation with the people from throughout the country and who are concerned about the important issues affecting our communities. And the housing measure that we want to talk about this morning is a good example.
So, Congressman Costa, thank you so much for joining us today. And, it's very exciting that the housing bill has passed. So, ਬਾਕੀ ਮੈਂ ਦੱਸਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਬੜੀ ਵਿਸ਼ੇਸ਼ ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਕਾਂਗਰਸਮੈਨ ਜਿਮ ਕਾਸਟਾ ਜੀ ਵਾਸ਼ਿੰਗਟਨ DC ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਟੇਟ ਕੈਪੀਟਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਜੋ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਨਵਾਂ ਹਾਊਸਿੰਗ ਬਿੱਲ ਪਾਸ ਹੋਇਆ ਹੈਗਾ ਸੋ ਬੜਾ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਆ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਨਵੈਸਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਪ੍ਰਾਪਰਟੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਆਹ ਲਾਅ ਨੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡੇ ਲੈਵਲ ਤੱਕ ਆਉਣ ਵਾਲੀਆਂ ਜਨਰੇਸ਼ਨਸ ਤੱਕ ਆਉਣ ਵਾਲੇ 100-150 ਸਾਲ ਤੱਕ ਇਫੈਕਟ ਕਰਦਾ ਉਹਦੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਅੱਜ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਸੋ ਕਾਂਗਰਸਮੈਨ ਕਾਸਟਾ in a nutshell if you have to I know the bill has hundreds and thousands of pages but may you please share maybe a couple of pointers how would this bill help average American people?
Well, you're very knowledgeable on housing and the housing industry. We have a housing crisis in America, and here in our valley we see it. It's the affordability, and there's two types of housing that we need more of, and that's single-family homes housing, the dream of young families owning their own home, that's first home, that starter home, and rental housing. We have a real demand for people who can't afford or are not in a position or want to purchase a home, but to have rental housing throughout this country that is affordable. And affordability is the question, and that's why we have a housing crisis. Mm-hmm. This legislation, this bipartisan legislation, the most significant investment in housing in this country in decades. And the provisions, as you noted, it attempts to try to provide incentives for cities and counties to provide permitting to allow investors, people like yourself, people who build homes and house in rental housing to expedite that process. There was a concern about the 7-year mandatory sell-off requirement. That's been dealt with. That's been deleted. And prohibits large institutional investors, those investments who control over 350 plus single-family homes. You get these solicitations, we'll purchase your home, as is. But a lot of this has driven up the cost of housing. And so I think when you look at all the sections, the mortgage opportunities for 30-year mortgages, these things are important in ensuring that community banks, credit unions, and other minority deposit institutions and rural depositories by reducing the regulatory burdens so that they can invest in having the investment dollars to build this housing that we need. So it covers a lot of areas, as you noted, but it passed the House by an overwhelming margin, 390 to 9. we don't get motherhood resolutions at that number, and then in the Senate it passed 89 to 10. And the president's attitude toward this thing, it was just frustrating, and to try to leverage the SAVE Act for this made no sense on merit or on politics.
Yeah, Congressman Costa, I was kind of surprised because, this is actually, I would say, first time in so many years where Democrats and Republicans, you have agreed on something and actually worked on it collaboratively. This is how politics should be. We need to collaborate. We need to, reach out the aisle and work together for the betterment of every single American, and no matter where we live, it doesn't matter what side we live on. So I must say, we welcome this special bill. I know our realtor, our National Realtors Association, we big time support this bill as well. There are hundreds and thousands of people that support it. This will benefit a lot of people, and I'm surprised that President Trump did not sign this bill. I mean, he should have signed it. Well, at least I am very thankful that he did not veto it. So I mean, the law. I mean, it is the law. It has. It is in effect. And this will have a lot of benefits for the community. So ਅਸੀਂ ਦੱਸਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਾਂਗਰਸਮੈਨ ਜਿਮ ਕਾਸਟਾ ਜੀ ਨਾਲ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬਿੱਲ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਪ੍ਰਧਾਨ ਟਰੰਪ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਾਈਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤੇ ਹੈਗੇ, ਪਰ ਉਹ ਜੋ ਬਿੱਲ ਆ ਉਹ ਸੈਨੇਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਅਤੇ ਹਾਊਸ ਆਪਣੇ ਜੋ ਕਾਂਗਰਸਮੈਨ ਆਪਣੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਹਾਊਸ ਆਫ ਰਿਪਰੈਜ਼ੈਂਟੇਟਿਵ ਦੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਬੜੀ ਮੈਜੋਰਟੀ ਵੋਟਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਰਿਪਬਲਿਕਨਸ ਤੇ ਡੈਮੋਕ੍ਰੈਟ ਦੋਨੇ ਪਾਰਟੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਬੜੀ ਬਹੁਮਤ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਆ ਬਿੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਪਾਸ ਕੀਤਾ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਆ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਬਿੱਲ ਹੈਗਾ ਆਹ ਹੈਲਪ ਕਰਦਾ ਐਵਰੇਜ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੀ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਦਿਨ ਪਰ ਦਿਨ ਜੋ ਮਹਿੰਗਾਈ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਆ ਹਰੇਕ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਹਿੰਗਾਈ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਆ ਈਵਨ ਸਰਕਾਰਾਂ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਨਵੀਆਂ ਰੈਗੂਲੇਸ਼ਨਸ ਲਿਆ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਹੁਣ ਰੈਗੂਲੇਸ਼ਨਾਂ ਵੀ ਘਟ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਸੋ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਲੋਕੀ ਈਵਨ ਘਰ ਆਪਣੇ ਬਿਲਡ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਥੋੜੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਸੌਖ ਮਿਲੂਗੀ ਤਾਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਹਿਸਾਬ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਆਉਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਸਮੇਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਹ ਬਿੱਲ ਕਰਕੇ 10 ਤੋਂ $15,000 ਤਾਂ ਸਿੱਧਾ ਡਿਸਕਾਊਂਟ ਘਰਾਂ ਤੇ ਆਉਣਾ ਹੀ ਆਉਣਾ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਆਹ ਇੱਕ ਬਹੁਤ historical bill ਹੈਗਾ so Congressman Costa, I do want to congratulate you. I know you are a pioneer. You represent the Central Valley pretty well in Washington DC. When you are in Washington DC, we are very impressed because we know that there is a voice that represents the Central Valley, that represents the Fresno and beyond all the areas. So thank you so much, and once again thank you for voting yes on this historical bill. And to my knowledge, this bill is historical because something like that hasn't happened for many decades. Am I right or wrong?
No, you're correct. This is the most significant housing bill that we've passed in decades, and let me just make two comments, and I appreciate the kind words, but why the president would threaten to veto this or to attempt to say that this is not a very significant piece of legislation, I think frustrates a lot of us. This is what we're supposed to do, as you noted, work in a bipartisan fashion to solve problems. We should do that with water. We should do that with transportation. We certainly should be doing that with our foreign policy and this whole situation in the Middle East and Iran. Mm-hmm. But let me make one other comment, and I know that you do the translation, but I think it's important for your listeners to understand why this is so important. The single largest investment that the average family ever makes in their lifetime is the purchase of the home.
Correct.
And we've had, a lot of different efforts over decades in America to stimulate the construction and the purchasing of single-family homes and multifamily homes. Mm-hmm. Why? Because that's the foundation of a broad middle class.
Yes.
The complexities of finance, average families learn when they go to get a loan and a 30-year mortgage.
Yes.
The average families learn the concept of equity, that they can buy a place and it builds in value, and that value they can use for other purposes, for their children's education or for a business or for whatever. And guess what? When they purchase a home in a place they like, they can raise their children to the schools they want, to the Gurdeep that they attend, or the churches or the synagogues. Mm-hmm. All of this is what housing's all about.
Yes.
It's not for investors to come and hedge, and it's the dream, we say, of home ownership. In recent years is for many young families been out of reach, and they think maybe it's only a dream. But this is an attempt to make sure that we can, for all those reasons, re-energize housing availability, affordability for families throughout this America to maintain the strong middle class and for young families.
Yeah, Congressman Costa, this is, like I said, this is my 15th, I have been serving the Fresno and, California community in general. Like, I have sold so many homes. I would say like in billions if you start counting the amount of homes I have sold. And housing market brings in a lot of tax dollars, a lot of revenues. I mean, to the neighborhoods. It actually, I must say, it empowers like a neighborhood. One thing I'm excited about, Congressman Costa. West side of Fresno has been neglected for a long time. I mean, with the with the red taping. I mean, you are a history student yourself. I mean, you went to Central West. I mean, and I know you have supported the West Side a lot as well. Especially bringing in the community college to the West Side, close to Fresno downtown. And one thing I'm so excited about. After so many years, and I want to thank Century Communities. I mean, they are building brand new homes on the West Side. I mean, how exciting it is. Like, really, even though I don't live on that side. I mean, I'm about 10 to 15 minutes away from that, that side. I live by Clinton and Brawley. But the thing is, it excites me as an individual that, finally a development is coming on this side. And I think this bill is going to also I would say empower and flourish a lot of the needy communities or the communities that are in need. What are your thoughts on that?
I absolutely agree. This is going to be a stimulus on multiple levels to create more housing construction that will in turn create more affordability, whether it's single-family homes or multi-family homes. I got to suspect in the hundreds of homes that you have been able to sell over in your career, you've got to feel a sense of pride when that family finishes the 50 pages of the escrow and all of that stuff, and they go through it and they get their loan approved. That's got to make it not only for that family but for you very satisfying.
Well, Congressman Costa, we really want to thank you for joining us this morning. I also want to do a plug-in for law enforcement, all the agencies, the Homeland Security and FBI and Sheriff Department, the PDs. There has been a huge, they have caught a lot of Indian gang members. They have been terrorizing the Punjabi community, especially the Sikh community. They even assassinated one of our leader in Canada a couple of years ago, Mr. Nijjar. There has been a lot of activities, and the community is finally feeling safe. So I wanna, once you have a meeting with your, with them, because you do actually hold a lot of power in there as well. So just make sure, on behalf of the community, please thank them.
Well, I do, and I will, and there's been locally here an effort to reach out because it's been horrific and so fearful
yes.
by members of our Punjabi community that somehow they're going to be a victim of one of these gangs. And so it's important that we get on top of this and provide the protection in our communities for the Punjabi community and for others throughout our valley and throughout our country. You're absolutely right.
Well, Congressman Costa, I really appreciate you, man. And before you sign off, any concluding words, anything else you want to share, please?
Well, I again, your radio programming does a terrific job in informing our communities about the challenges we face in Washington. We still have more work to do. We have challenges around the world with Iran and the impacts of energy costs and affordability, the situation in Ukraine and Gaza are really critical for our country, and competition against China is obviously, and our relationships with India are very important. And so I will continue to have the honor and the privilege to represent our valley and the wonderful people who live here, the immigrants past and immigrants present, who I think are the secret sauce of our valley and our country.
Well, Congressman Costa, thank you so much. And everyone, please do remember Congressman Costa. And if you do need any help, Callie Gill, she is an amazing individual. And she will help you as well. Do stop by the office in our beautiful Fresno downtown as well. So, Congressman Costa, blessing to you, man. We appreciate you, man, and we love you. Thank you for everything, man.
Thank you, my friend. Always.
All right, thank you, sir. Bye-bye.